And welcome into the ballpark. Happy to have you with us. We've got baseball coming up for Jackie Robinson Day. It's the Chicago Cubs taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Along with my partner, Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. Chris, today a special day on the Major League Baseball calendar, Jackie Robinson Day. Everyone on the field wearing number 42 to honor Jackie and his breaking of the professional baseball color barrier in 1947 with the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Well, Boog, it's a great day for everyone in terms of just the unity that it helped to bring forth within our country, and a lot of times that's done through sport. But for me, as a black player, when I think about Jackie Robinson and I think about the connection of such a great player and all of the adversity that he had to endure, baseball's hard enough just to play, but then everything sort of on the field, off the field, and how he persevered through that, so inspiring.
And we'll be back with the first pitch right after this. All right, just about set to go. Today's starting pitcher, Noah Syndergaard.
He finally picked up his first win of the season. Took him a few starts to get there, but now that you got that behind you, you can focus on moving things ahead. Looking for number 2 in this one.
All right, ready to get underway. And now the right fielder, Bubba Thompson.
The right fielder, Bubba Thompson.
And here it comes. Ground ball, left side. Throws to first. One up, one down.
Batting second, the left fielder, Kyle Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber comes up to hit here. Homered in the ball game yesterday afternoon. Hit well, right field, way back, and gone. Kyle Schwarber with a rocket, and they jump out front. It's 1-0.
Breaking ball on the inside part of the plate requires a hitter to stay really square with his mechanics. If you fly open with the front shoulder, there's no way you keep that ball fair. An outstanding job mechanically. He deserves that home run.
Bo Bichette up to the dish. That's to third. Muncy fires across the diamond, and Bichette is retired.
Good late bite on that slider. Got the hitter out in front, rolled over on it. Exactly what he was supposed to do.
And here is Devers. Devers, the baby-faced assassin. Chris, you ready for a nugget?
Ready.
Rafael Devers homered in 3 straight games against the Yankees before he turned 21. The only other player to do that, Babe Ruth. First offering, misses the mark. And that's down and away.
Well, he gave up the home run earlier in this inning, not pitching as aggressively here.
Smoked on the ground a second. On to first, and that'll do it. But they're off to a good start as they pick up a run on this solo shot. And the home team down a run. You're watching Major League Baseball on the show. Back here at Dodger Stadium, today's starting pitcher, Michael Kopech. What's the scouting report on him?
Perhaps one of his best outings of the year last time out. Worked deep into the ball game, only gave up 3 hits. Today, he's going to try to do the exact same thing.
We go to the bottom of the first. Miguel Rojas at the plate. And he deals. Tap back up the middle. Bichette gathers and throws to first. Quick recovery from the misplay pays off for the out.
The center fielder, Jose
David Peralta at the plate.
Peralta.
In there, and it's 0-1. Kopech, he has a reputation, I don't know, maybe a knack for working himself out of tough situations that he finds himself in. You know, you like that in a relief pitcher, but when you have it for a starting pitcher, a guy that can get out of a tight spot, that is pretty valuable. Next offering is in for a strike.
And you won't see the skipper rush to get somebody up in the bullpen as soon as he starts to see some signs of trouble. This guy's earned a longer leash, and because of that, confidence grows with the players and teammates playing behind him, that when things get a little rough out there, they know he'll find his way through it.
And that one is lifted in the air. Bellinger drifts towards it. Puts it away for the out. How much of the ability to do that in a tight spot is the mental approach?
I think it's very much being able to have a laser-like focus, slow everything down, stay right in that moment, pitch-to-pitch execution, and focusing on that catcher's mitt.
On the ground. Gets it to first. And Freeman is retired. And that is the inning. Nothing doing for the Dodgers here. They're down 1-0. All set for the start of the inning. Dansby Swanson stands in. This is a guy you got to keep an eye on when he digs in. Definitely been known to drop a drag bunt from time to time. And he's pretty good at it, Chris.
Yeah, and he creates a sense of urgency for the defense because of the speed, because of the ability to put down that ball.
In for a strike. It's 0-1. Now you see even sluggers from time to time try and use the bunt really as a way to beat the shift. The 0-2. In the air, out towards left center, and that'll fall for a base hit. Man aboard on the leadoff single.
He's been swinging it really well lately. Hooked around that pitch on the outside, but he was still able to square it up pretty nicely, and that takes quick, strong wrist to pull that off.
Bellinger up to hit. First pitch just misses.
Boog, I had the chance to scout Cody Bellinger as a toddler. He used to come into the clubhouse after games there in Columbus, as his dad Clay was a catcher and a utility player on the team. And you could tell then that he had a pretty special swing.
Righty to the plate. Cody Bellinger told me a funny story that as he was coming out of the cage one time as a little kid, Derek Jeter said to him, "Hey, you don't swing like your dad at all. You got a pretty good swing." Left-hand batter waits. Misses with the 2-0, and he's fired 3 straight outside the strike zone. Left-hand hitter waits. And there's ball 4.
Take your base.
It all just came apart right there. 4-pitch walk, and guy at the plate was not going to help him out by swinging at something out of the zone.
And now it's William Contreras.
Wood.
Next offering is in for a strike. Time to check on our umpires. Earl Hendricks calling balls and strikes.
Yeah, well-liked umpire, Boog. Pretty consistent with his zone, so if you're familiar with him and how he works, you won't get too surprised by anything. Sometimes he'll give a little bit off the corner, but nothing too crazy at all.
Ground ball right side, could be 2. Rojas for 1, and that's 2. And now it's Eric Hosmer. That's in for a strike. Two outs and 1 in scoring position. And that's in for a strike.
And a bat like this is almost over as it begins. In this situation, you have no idea what the next pitch is going to be. You just got to hope that you can make contact.
Right-hander kicks, deals. Got him swinging. And that is that. 1 left for the Cubs, but they still lead it 1-0. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. Now it's the right fielder, Mookie Betts. Singy Mookie Betts, given name Marcus Lynn Betts. He attributes a nickname from his parents watching Mookie Blaylock play basketball.
Yeah, Boog, and the cool coincidence with that name are the initials, MLB.
That's right. First offering, and it just misses. And a pop-up, right side, foul territory. And that drops foul. The 1-1. Hit in the air, right field. Thompson makes the catch. And there's 1 down.
Batting fifth, the designated hitter.
And up next for Los Angeles, Trace Thompson. Good power, not great in the OBP department. First pitch doesn't find the zone. Righty delivers. And that's through there for a strike.
Looks like a really good fastball today. You can hear that catcher's mitt popping. Looking forward to hearing a lot of that one in this one.
One down, base is empty. Swing and a miss
1 and 2.
as he was out front that time. And it's even up. The pitch. Got him swinging for the strikeout. Slider got him for strike 3.
Oh, that slider down and away. It's just kind of a slow death. With 2 strikes, you're looking to protect, and halfway to the plate, you know you've committed, and you know you're going to have no chance of touching it. Tell you what, sometimes you just have to tip your cap.
The batter now will be Will Smith. 2 hits in the game last night. Dives and he can't hang on. Not in time. He's safe.
Everything came together for him. Challenged him with the fastball right in the heart of the zone, and he was clearly ready to jump all over it.
Martinez.
JD Martinez stands in. pitch misses inside, and it's 1-0. Smith, the runner at first with 2 gone. Two balls, no strikes to count.
When you get ahead in the count, there's no doubt that the success rate goes up, and that's what he's been doing. It's made a big impact for him in recent games.
They say you win.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
And a pitch. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Out number 3. 1 left for LA, still behind by a count of 1-0. Top half of the 3rd inning, and now here's the veteran DH, Enrique Hernandez. Syndergaard, a former All-Star, 30 years old now. He joined the team as a free agent. Syndergaard back to work. Hernandez goes 5 feet 11 inches, hitting 9th in today's lineup, and they traded for him earlier this year. Next offering is in for a strike. In the air, right field. Betts makes the grab on the run.
Now batting, the right fielder, Bubba.
Here's Bubba Thompson.
Taken high in the draft, he's had that top prospect label over him since he put on a professional uniform, but at some point that starts to go away and you've got to produce at the big league level.
Thompson getting to start in right, 24 years old. What a run over the last 10 as he's hitting over 400 during that span. On the ground to the left. Now the throw to first on the run. And save. He busted it down the line for that infield single. Runner on at first with 1 gone. Kyle Schwarber, the next Cub to hit. He's already homered in this game. And he swings and misses, and it's 0-1. Now remember, Kyle Schwarber grew up in Ohio, and so he got a chance to watch a lot of really good Cincinnati Reds teams. His favorite players growing up were Barry Larkin and Ken Griffey Jr. They try another pitch out.
Good speed on the base pass. He handles the bat very well. I wouldn't be surprised if the skipper puts on some type of hit and run or run and hit.
Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Fouled off. He was late. Runner on the go again. There's a ball.
Outside.
Throw. Save. Chris, his wheels were the difference maker on that play. Just got in there.
Yeah, with StatCast's help, we see his top speed on this stolen base, and that's a big number. I mean, man, he really made his athleticism work for him on that one.
The pitch. And now it's filled up.
He's really tightening up his hitting zone with 2 strikes here. I love it.
Three and two. Payoff pitch. Gets a piece and stays alive. Runner at second here, 1 gone. Ground ball up the middle. To first. Schwarber out on the play.
Good sinker low in the zone right there and produced exactly what he was looking for. Ball on the ground. Nice ground out.
Bo Bichette gets a chance to hit. You talk about elite defensive players, especially in the middle of the diamond, and this guy is at the top of the list.
Yeah, we go beyond just the fielding percentage and what it looks like, but the ability to have a range and close holes that are normally there against an average defender. But this guy is special, and you can see it in his first step quickness.
Two outs with a runner at third. The next offering misses, and it's 2-1.
Boog, and the one thing about that is speed never goes in a slump, and defense shouldn't either. Hitting wise, you can struggle, you can lose your mechanics, but the thing that you can do consistently every single game is play great defense if you're talented in that way, and this is what this guy does.
Rafael Devers in the on deck circle. He swings and fouls one off. Here comes a pitch. Caught it, looking for the K. Cubs leave one, but they lead it 1-0. And welcome back as we go to the last of the third. And at the plate for the Dodgers, Chris Taylor. Kopech, a 6'3" righty, 210 pounds, a former first-round pick back in 2014. The pitch. Fly ball down the line. Thompson glides to his left. Got it. Really had to move for that catch. And there's one away.
Batting ninth, the third baseman.
And now it's Max Muncy. Obviously a guy who makes good contact, hits for average. But one of the things in today's game, the value in the fact that he hits both righties and lefties. They're so reliant on the matchups nowadays, Chris, and it's huge when you don't have to sit a guy or platoon him.
When you can hit both sides in terms of pitchers' arms, you're a guy that it's hard to take out of the lineup, and I think it's very important today when everything is under the microscope.
And fouled off. The 1-1. Now one missed. The wind of the pitch. And now it's 3-2. And the righty deals. Battling here as he fouls it away. Good plate appearance there. Able to take the walk.
What a battle. It's not always easy laying off a 3-2 pitch, and I tell you what, he earned that walk.
So digging in, Miguel Rojas. And a foul ball. Muncy, the base runner at first with one out. Gets under it and pops it up. That gets down for a hit. And they'll have runners at the corners after a one-out single.
No, they didn't get much of that one, but it's going to look like a line drive in the box score tomorrow. When you pop a ball up like that, you don't expect it to get you a knock too often, but right there, somehow he got it to drop in behind first base, and that's where no one could get to it.
Peralta, a former Gold Glove winner, a member of the 1,000 hit club, and he's usually in left field, but today he's patrolling center. Peralta in the box now as he looks at ball one. Second plate appearance of the day for him. 0 for 1 with a flyout.
Well, typically left fielders have the least amount of range in the outfield, so for him to take the responsibility in center field in this one, he's going to really need his corner guys to help him out in the gaps.
That one hammered but pulled foul. At the belt and fires.
That's the ball.
Good spot for the hitter. Definitely has the advantage in this count with runners on. Look for him to be aggressive on this next pitch.
The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Nice changeup.
The last thing he wants is to hit the ball on the ground, but I wouldn't expect many pitches up in the zone. They'll be pitching for a double play in this spot.
2-2 down. And a swing and a miss. Huge strikeout there.
Well, this is where the team aspect really comes into play on the offensive side of the game, right? I mean, missed opportunity to tie it up with the runner at third, one out, couldn't put the ball in play. So now it's time to pick him up, and that's where good teams, they go to. They operate on this level of next man up. That mentality is what causes them to win series, get into the postseason. And that helps keep the energy and morale high in the dugout.
Freddie Freeman up to the dish. Swings through that one. 0-1. Ball one there.
Outside.
Next one off the plate inside. And it's 2-1.
2-1.
Corners are occupied with 2 down. Good eye right there. Mookie Betts waiting to bat for the Dodgers. The 3-1. And that one fouled off. Two outs. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. Runners on first and third, 2 away. That's hard hit on the line. Bellinger makes the grab. And Freeman is retired. And that ends the inning. Dodgers strand a couple. They still trail 1-0. New inning getting started. Devers down.
The third baseman, Rafael Devers.
The wide to kick the pitch. That misses.
No, that's
Ball
down.
one.
Ball.
Rafael Devers, part of that 2018 team that won it all. But over the past couple of years, he has really turned into one of the top hitters, certainly one of the top left-handed hitters in the American League. The 1-0. There's a strike.
Yeah, and his ability to handle pitches as well outside the zone on the fringes, just impressive. I know we'll never forget the night that he hit a home run off of Aroldis Chapman slightly above the top of the strike zone and just clobbered it to left center field.
Yeah, that pitch was over 100 miles an hour from Chapman, and he raked it out of the ballpark. Here's the second baseman, Dansby Swanson.
He's hitting for that pop. Came out of the gates really strong.
And ball one. Pretty good job on the mound in this one, Singy. It feels like we've seen a lot of off-balance swings.
Yeah, just one free pass, and obviously he's not a big strikeout guy, but he gets soft contact and he gets outs.
Next offering is in for a strike. Started after it. Appeal to first. That's a swing, according to umpire Woody Keller. Next offering misses, and the count is even 2-2. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. Fly ball to right. Betts on the move. Makes the grab on the run. And there are two outs.
Up next for the Cubs.
Here's Cody Bellinger. He reached on a walk his first time. That one's in there, 0-1. And a strike.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Hard hit to third. And the Cubs go 1-2-3. Nothing happening there for the Cubs, but they hold a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the fourth, and now the right fielder, Mookie Betts.
Not only can he hit the cover off the ball, he's got a great eye as well.
Kopech back to work. Ball one on a pitch inside. And the right-hander deals. Can't glove it cleanly. But the throw to first gets him easily. And that's the first out.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air. Lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution.
And now here's the Dodgers designated hitter, Trace Thompson. He struck out swinging at his first at bat. And a good eye there. And the 1-0. And that's too high. The wind of the pitch.
Yeehaw!
Nasty 2-0 slider there for a strike. That tells you he's got a lot of confidence in that pitch.
Next offering is fouled back. Two and two. Foul ball left side. He'll see another. Got him swinging. Gassed it right by him.
Well, that was a really good job setting him up right there. Pitcher and catcher working together to finish him off with the fastball. And even though the location probably wasn't what he wanted, the sequence is what got the job done. Clearly late with the swing after seeing the off-speed stuff on the pitch before.
And up to the plate is Will Smith. Reached on an infield single his first time. In there for strike one.
0-1.
That clips the corner.
Quickly down 0-2 in the count. I think you got to choke up a little bit, spread out the feet. You don't know what the velocity or the location of this next pitch is going to be.
Fights it off. You'll see another. And a pitch. Good job to fight that one off. And the 0-2. And that's downstairs and outside.
Well, this is a guy that can be frustrating for pitchers because he fouls off so many pitches and grinds out the at-bat. I'm sure there's some times where a pitcher would rather just give up a first pitch single than have to waste 6 or 7 pitches on one hitter.
That misses. 2 and 2. The wind and the pitch. Out towards left center. It falls in, and that's a knock. So he gets on base and keeps it going.
Now batting, left fielder, J.D. Martinez.
And here is J.D. Martinez. He's 0 for 1. J.D. Martinez is the first guy that I remember seeing videotaping his own batting practice so that he could go back inside and look at the video. That one not close. 2-0. Smith off of first with 2 away. That one missed. Now 3-0. Chris Taylor up next for the Dodgers. Here's a 3-0. That's in there. Three and 1. Martinez waits. Swing and a ball popped up. Hosmer makes the catch, inning over. So the Dodgers leave one And it remains 1-0. Back here at the ballpark, top five, John Sciambi with Chris Singleton. And leading it off, William Contreras. And the pitch. Line drive, and that should be extra bases. Now he turns and heads for second. And he's there with a leadoff double.
Well, a swing like that can help you come out of the struggle. We saw the numbers coming into the ball game, but all he's trying to do at this point is help his team win.
Here's Hosmer. His first at bat was a strikeout. Next pitch downstairs, and that's ball one. No outs, runner on second. Kicks and fires. Just missed. The 2-1.
Ball, low.
Sharp grounder, that's through for a base hit. Contreras coming home. Martinez fires it to the plate. It's off the mark, and he scores. And they lead by 2.
Well, they call that an advantage count for a reason. You're so much more likely to get something you can handle. Nice job going the opposite way with it, letting the ball travel and not allowing the barrel to hook around the ball. It's so frustrating when you see a good pitch and your hands roll over. It was on the outside part of the plate, and he approached it perfectly.
Here's Kike Hernandez. He's 0 for 1. First pitch, and that's in for a strike.
You know, these Cubs doing a good job of putting the ball into play, and that makes things more challenging on the defensive side. The numbers tell us they're averaging more than a hit every inning, and they've only struck out twice, so they keep finding ways to put their bat on the ball.
Here's the 0-1. And that's just foul. And the pitch. And that's outside.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
The pitch. Yeah, the 1-2 misses to even the count.
2-2.
On the ground, could be 2. Muncy to second, on to Freddie. Double play.
Now back, right fielder, Bubba Thompson.
And the batter now, Bubba Thompson, 1 for 2. In the air to left center. Martinez brings it in for the 3rd out. But the RBI single pushes across a run. It's now a 2-0 ball game. You're watching Major League Baseball on The Show. Back here in L.A., we head to the bottom of the 5th. Now it's the second baseman, Chris Taylor.
Well, these fans definitely want to get involved in the game. All it's going to take is to get the leadoff man or even a base runner on.
And here it comes. That one missed.
You know, these Dodgers doing a great job, Boog, of just waiting for the right pitch to come their way, and I'm seeing very patient at-bats out of them. Starter's leash has to be getting tighter with his pitch count where it is, but so far he's been really effective in this one.
2 balls, no strikes.
And a foul ball makes the count 2-1.
You know, sometimes it just takes getting to the bullpen in order to be able to score runs, and that might be the case today.
Swing and a miss, and now 2-2. That misses. Counts full, 3-2.
Now in this 3-ball count, down in the ball game, you've got to be very selective. Take your walk if they'll give it to you.
And he deals. The 3-2 is off the outside edge, and that is ball 4.
That could jumpstart an offense that's really struggled to score in this one. Don't want to wake a team up with the free pass.
Here comes Max Muncy. Worked a walk in his first trip to the plate. Just missed.
Ball.
The 1-0. Swings through that.
1-1.
On a strike. The pitch.
No, ball.
Foul ball there. Taylor aboard here at first with nobody out. Muncy hits one in the air. He's under it. Hauls it in, and there's one away. So the lineup flips over. Miguel Rojas steps to the plate for the Dodgers.
Really good piece of hitting last time, going to the opposite field.
In there, and it's 0-1.
Dangerous spot for that slider right there. Didn't seem to quite finish out front and get that sharp break. Tell you what, he doesn't want to throw that pitch again.
Kicks and deals. Good eye right there. Here's a 1-1. The kick and the pitch. Runner goes. Tags the runner. On to Hosmer. 2. No runs, no hits, no errors. We're through 5. It's the Cubs 2 and the Dodgers nothing. Welcome back. All set for the top of the 6th. So up now for Chicago, Kyle Schwarber. Chris, when you think of Kyle Schwarber, how about the impact in the playoffs? He's hit some iconic home runs. The one on top of the Wrigley Field scoreboard in the division series against the Cardinals in 2015, and then in 2022, 488 feet off Yu Darvish. It set a Petco Park record for distance. The 0-1.
Well,
That's
he's
the ball,
got what
that's
we
the ball.
call light tower power. And even when you have a guy like Bryce Harper on your team and you wow him with the home run, that says a whole lot.
And 1-2. Stays alive. That hit him.
That hit him.
And the
Take a
leadoff man is aboard to start the inning.
Well, that gives them a runner, and maybe they can turn it into something more. With nobody out, a lot of things can happen here in this inning.
Bichette measures 6 feet even, 190 pounds, and he was a second-round pick back in 2016. Bichette in the box now. No balls and a strike.
Well, an at-bat can be a little bit of a dance. Strike one here, but a few more pitches. We'll see how it turns out.
Runner at first with no outs here. On the ground, right side. And that one finds its way through. Lead runner to second, so 2 on and nobody out.
Just a simple ground ball the other way that had eyes on it, man. Sometimes that's all you need to do. Just let the ball travel, put the ball in play, and just hope it finds a hole.
And here comes the Dodgers manager to the mound. Pitching change coming. Noah Syndergaard will depart. 2-run ball game as he heads for the dugout, and we'll be back with a new pitcher. They hand the ball over to a new arm, Brusdar Graterol. He's been so good against lefties.
Number 42, Brusdar Graterol.
Here's Rafael Devers. Graterol in his 4th year, 24 years old, and he was born in Venezuela. And the first pitch misses for ball 1.
Some of the greatest players in the history of the game were born in Venezuela, including one that finished with 500-plus home runs, 3,000-plus hits, and a triple crown.
No outs, runners at first and second. A swing and a miss, and that's strike 1.
I guess you throw it that hard, you can get away with locations like that right down the middle, but I still think it's a dangerous pitch. Don't want to do it again.
And the righty deals. Fouls it off, still 1-2. First and second here, no outs.
Well, he knows they don't want to give him anything to hit, but when you've got opportunities to drive in runs, you've got to expand the zone. He's capable of going out there and doing damage with it.
The pitch. And a ball evens the count. Right-handed reliever gets a piece and stays alive. Grinding AB right here, about to see pitch number 10. Next offering is downstairs.
Count is full.
And he walked him.
Nope, ball 4. Take your base.
Man, that's a tough one to take on the full count, but I guess he saw it really well. It's a really nice plate appearance.
Dansby Swanson getting ready to hit. Swanson, a reigning Gold Glove winner, 29 years old, usually a shortstop, but today he's starting at second base.
Yeehaw.
That's a slider for a strike.
Well, the one thing he'll find is that a lot of the time the play is to your back. You're moving to your right. You've got to throw back to first base. That's the difference between shortstop and second. You're usually moving into the play at shortstop. Second base, not so much.
0-2.
And he's down 0-2 as he swings through it. Oh and 2 now. And now 1-2. The Dodgers bullpen with some action. Yency Almonte up and throwing. Nelson getting loose as well. Next pitch is inside, and the count is 2-2.
It's a good take.
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Well, one of the things that hitters will do is they'll look for that red dot on the baseball as it's coming in to let them know what the pitch is. And if they see the red dot, it's typically a slider. But when a guy's got a really tight one with high spin rates, very difficult to determine. And that's probably why we saw a swing and miss right there. Just a nasty pitch.
Bellinger, the next to hit, takes ball 1.
Home plate umpires trying to tighten things up a little bit.
Righty to the plate. Ground ball to first, could be 2. Freeman over to second. Ow! The double play ends the inning and might have saved the game for them.
Just trying to sneak one through with the bases loaded, but an excellent job by the defense to turn that one and get out of this jam.
Well, we go bottom 6. Here's a big power threat. David
The
Peralta.
center fielder, David Peralta.
The pitch. And that one is
No, that's it.
inside
That's the
ball
ball.
1.
1-0.
The 1-0. That one is upstairs.
No, that's the ball. 2-0.
Just
ball.
missed. And he pumps it a strike. And the 3-1. And that's ball 4.
Take your base, ball 4.
Maybe a little loss of focus on the mound right there. Pretty much gifted in first base with a quick free pass.
Here comes Freddie Freeman up to hit.
Now, this guy's definitely looking for.
That one's in there, 0-1. Action in the pen down there. Brett Martin getting ready to go. The 0-1. Smoked into left field, base hit. Schwarber fires it in quickly. Rudder stops at second, and the first 2 reach to start the inning.
Now batting, right fielder, Mookie.
First and second, no outs. Now it's Mookie Betts. First offering misses badly for ball one. On the corner for a strike. Peralta, the lead runner, out at second. Freeman at first with no outs. Swing and a miss. Next pitch in the dirt. Ball two.
Way to lay off that pitch down.
And now 2-2. Drops into the glove, and there's one away.
Yeah, that was a wasted RBI opportunity, but a competitor like him, he is looking forward to making up for it in his next at-bat.
Trace Thompson digs in now. Who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts.
Well, all eyes on the double play ball in this spot. No better way to get out of this inning.
First offering misses the mark.
Way to lay off that fastball up right there. You're looking for something you see well that you can handle, but you also have to keep the discipline so that you're not popping up pitches that are just a little too high.
The pitch.
That miss. That's the ball.
Struggled a little bit in this one. Couple of strikeouts earlier, but doing a much better job in this at bat to get ahead and find a good hitter's count at 2-0.
Righty delivers. Line drive caught. Throw to second, and they got him. Double play. One left for LA. They trail it here 2-0. Jimmy Nelson into the game.
And he comes on here for the first time this season, and I'm sure there's some nerves involved in that, so we'll see how he settles in.
Now the Cubs catcher, William Contreras.
The catcher.
Well, I got a chance to meet William during spring training as he was coming up trying to get to the big leagues, and this kid's got some ridiculous pop. Watched him on the backfields taking batting practice. All of his coaches would just kind of roll their eyes and say, this kid's going to be great, without actually saying the words. Then later that season, I got a chance to chat with Wilson, big brother, and ask him about little brother, and he smiled as well. Said, yeah, he's good, and gave me that look that I think he might be better than me eventually.
Next one misses, and that's ball one. And that's in the dirt.
2-1.
There's a swing and a drive. And it slams off the bottom of the wall. In safely with a double, his second of the day.
Seeing some good swings from him right now with consecutive extra base hits. Just a very nice approach and swing right there to use the big part of the field. Everything was on time. He stayed balanced through the entire swing and just launched that one into center.
Now it's Eric Hosmer.
RBI knock for him last time. Now a chance to drive in another run.
And that's in there for strike one. Right-hander kick steals. That's a little bit low. Runner at second, nobody out. And misses inside. Left-hand hitter waits. Swings through that one, out in front that time. Runner leads away at second. That one misses, and that's ball 3.
At this point in the game, you cannot issue free passes. He's going to have to challenge this hitter. Hitter's got to be ready to swing it.
Foul. We'll see another payoff pitch. And the right-hander deals. Foul ball, and it remains a full count. Here comes a pitch. Popped up. Taylor in plenty of time to first. That's the first out, the top of the 7th. Next is the designated hitter, Enrique Hernandez. First pitch doesn't find the zone.
1 ball, no strikes.
At the belt and fires. In there at the knees. And a 1-1. In the air, left field. Martinez pulls it down. 2 down.
Now batting, right fielder, Bubba.
Now at the plate, Bubba Thompson. 1 for 3. That hits the dirt, and that is ball 1. And there's the strike.
Well, we call that keyholing. Even though it's right there and looks pretty good, if he doesn't love it, he's not going to swing that early in the count.
The 1-1. And downstairs. Here's a 2-1. On the ground to first, and there's a hit right past his coach, headed for the plate. The tag, and that's out number 3, inning over.
Well, it's pretty difficult to throw a base runner out at the plate with 2 outs on a base hit to the outfield, but an excellent job of coming up with it, getting rid of it quickly, and throwing on the money. That is great technique from start to finish. Nice job to end the inning.
Back here at Dodger Stadium, bottom of the 7th, and at the plate for the Dodgers, Will Smith. Kopech back to work. That's outside. Ball 1. The wind of the pitch. And there's a strike.
And it really looks like these hitters have been in between with their timing today. Good fastball, excellent slider, but they've not been able to commit to one velocity and stay there.
In there. And so now 1-2.
I always remember watching Johan Santana pitch, and when he was in his prime, you would see a lot of guys out in front, right-handers pulling that change up in the stands and then fouling the fastball the opposite field up into the stands.
Kicks and fires. Swings and misses. He swung over top of the curveball. A big first out here in the 7th via the punch out.
Yeah, it just does so much to change the outlook of an important inning like this. I mean, you got the leadoff hitter, so critical in setting the table when you got a tight game like this. So a strikeout really puts them on their heels.
Now J.D. Martinez at the plate. First pitch, and he just misses.
Just could not get in sync and even guess right. When you talk about guessing in the game, it's really anticipation and sort of going with what the highest probability pitch, velocity, location at that point of the at-bat is.
And he deals. Swings through that one.
1-1.
That one ripped. Bellinger racing over to make the catch.
Now batting, second baseman
Chris Taylor now.
Taylor.
And that's outside. And a pitch. So 2 balls and no strikes. Ripped to right center, and that should be extra bases. Taylor races for second, and that's a double.
Love how he let that ball travel, trusted his hands. Nice job of going the other way.
Max Muncy at the dish.
These fans, they are ready to cheer about something.
In there for strike one. Now that's smacked to right center. That's a base hit. Throw comes into second. The tag, and they cut him down going for 2. That ends the inning, but they do pick up a run on the play. But they push across 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and no one left. 8th inning coming up. It's the Cubs 2 and the Dodgers 1. New pitcher for the Dodgers, Alex Vesia.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
Number 42, Alex Vesia.
So up now for Chicago, Kyle Schwarber. He's already homered here in this one. And the pitch. And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter. And now the lefty. And that one is inside. Activity in the bullpen. Yency Almonte looks to be getting ready for manager Dave Roberts. Here's a 1-1. Swinging a foul straight back. And a 1-2. And a swing and a miss. And there's one down.
And he'll be beating himself up on the way back to the dugout. Got a pitch to hit and just couldn't get to it. I think that slider really caught way more of the plate than it was supposed to.
Bichette batting with one down takes a strike. The pitch. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit.
Now batting.
Just kept it simple. Played pepper with the middle of the infield and took it back where it came from, and there's just no one there to knock it down.
Man aboard, and here is Devers. In the dirt. In there safely. And he'll move up to second, no problem. Should be a pass ball, and that takes away the double play.
This is something that'll happen to him from time to time behind the dish. The defense is a part of his game he's trying to improve, but right there just couldn't squeeze it, and it cost him.
And the 1-0. Swung on, belted. That one back there. Gone. Rafael Devers rounds the bases. His fourth home run of the season. And they add on. It's 4-1.
Just an excellent swing all the way around, and it had that sound coming off the bat that gets everyone's attention. Got a pitch to drive, short to the baseball, squared it up, and the backspin carried it out of here.
One out, base is empty. And next for the Cubs, Dansby Swanson. 0-1.
It's 0-1.
Still only one out here in the inning. Strike two.
Threw that fastball right by him, slightly elevated. That's a confidence boost for this guy out there on the mound. See if he continues to climb the ladder.
Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout.
Just blown away in that at bat. 3 fastballs, all strikes. He wasn't even able to foul one off. There's not much you can take away from an at bat like that as a hitter, other than maybe there's something wrong with your eyes. Got to have better timing on the fastball next time.
Bellinger, the next to hit, takes outside. Two down, nobody on. And another ball.
2-0.
And the pitch. That one's spoiled, and the count now 2-1. And a pitch. On the ground, right side. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. But two come across to score in the inning, courtesy of this two-run homer. It's now 4-1. Bottom of the eighth. Now it's the Dodger leadoff hitter, Miguel Rojas.
The shortstop.
The Dodgers in striking distance, but have some work to do.
Boog, it starts with the leadoff man. I need a good at-bat out of him right here. Well, after scoring runs, this is where you're looking for that shutdown inning. Get that hot team back in there to swing the bats.
Strike one.
0-1.
That's in there, and it's 0-2. The wind of the pitch. In the air, right side. No trouble here. Puts it away for the out. And a quick out, number one.
Now batting, the center fielder, David.
So up next, David Peralta. And a foul ball. The pitch. And that one fouled off. The 0-2. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. The wind and the pitch. Out towards right center field. Out number two.
Up next for the Dodgers, the first base.
Two outs, base is empty. Freddie Freeman steps to the plate for the Dodgers. That's in there. That's strike one. The wind to kick the pitch. That one misses, and it's a ball and a strike. Line drive, base hit.
Just a cookie down the middle. I mean, those are the ones you dream about. Ones in the cage, you're just hoping you get in the ball game. Right down the middle, not a whole lot of velocity, right on top of it. And you can feel this crowd waking up a bit here as the guys are starting to make some noise with their bats.
Here's Mookie Betts.
Here's a run-scoring opportunity. You definitely got to push something across because it's not going to get any easier. You get to the ninth, you got a lockdown closer ready to come in.
Next pitch
That's
inside.
ball.
And it's 2-0. Freeman leads off first with 2 down to the inning. Now 3-0. Trace Thompson waiting for a turn at the plate. And here it comes. And he takes a strike.
One way to make a guy real uncomfortable at the plate is pound him inside with good velocity. They're doing that right here.
The pitch. And that clips the inside corner.
3-2, 2 out, runner on first. A lot of movement in the infield. Hitter's got to stay focused on the pitch.
Next offering is fouled back. Kopech throw over. Freeman back easily. Righty to the plate. And ball 4, 2 aboard.
It feels to me like his time on the mound is running short. Starting to show some signs of fatigue. So we'll see how much longer they let him go.
First and second, 2 down. Here comes the manager out of the Cubs dugout, and he will make a move to the pen. So they turn things over to the righty, Cody Hoyer.
And I can't imagine any save is an easy one. You're holding a small lead on the scoreboard, and you know those hitters are going to give you the best at-bats they can. So it's always high stress. Let's see what he's got here to try and close it out.
Ground ball to the right side. And foul ball. 2 outs. Couple of base runners at first and second. Next pitch misses. And now it's even 1-1. Meanwhile, activity in the bullpen. Ryan Weiss throwing and getting ready for David Ross. Tying run at the plate. And it's fouled away.
He's getting the barrel to the ball. He's just got to work on that timing a little bit.
That one just misses.
Man, oh man, I don't know how you take that pitch. That's as close as it gets.
The tying run at the plate. 3-2 now. Will Smith waiting to bat for the Dodgers. First and second, 2 down. Fouled off again, and it remains 3-2. And that'll load the bases.
Almost a coin flip for the umpire in that call, but most umpires just don't want to give pitchers a break up in the zone like that.
Next up, the Dodgers catcher, Will Smith.
Well, it's critical right here that they bear down and turn in some quality at bats. Try to chip away at that lead, because if it gets to the ninth, that closer's coming in.
There's a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1.
Tough situation right here. So important as a pitcher to get ahead in the count as he did right there.
Here comes the 0-1. And that one is in for a strike. 2 outs. Bases are full. Line drive, base hit.
Such great concentration. Everybody on their feet, knowing that you can come through with a good swing. And there he doesn't try to do too much.
So first and second with 2 outs. JD Martinez stands in. This one in the air, right field. Thompson makes the play, and that's the 3rd out. So 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, but 2 are left stranded. 9th inning coming up. It's the Cubs 4 and the Dodgers 3. We're back. It's the top of the 9th, and there's a new pitcher on the mound, Yency Almonte. He pitched yesterday, and we'll see him once again.
Almonte.
Now the Cubs catcher, William Contreras.
The catcher.
Drove it off the wall last time, just missed out on a home run.
And he deals. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Almonte, the tall righty, he features a slider, a sinker, a four-seamer, and he works in a changeup. Next offering way upstairs. That one down the line, and it goes just foul. The pitch. And now the count is even. The pitch. And that one hammered. That's back. And gone. A solo shot. And they tack one on the board. It's 5-3. That one just sounded different.
And might have been the loudest moment yet. Man, my ears are ringing. I can feel that swing from the booth. A good hit. hitter gets pitch recognition early, he saw exactly where that was going to be. The challenge, not get over anxious and come out of your swing. He stayed on it and got all of it.
And up next for Chicago, Eric Hosmer.
Always exciting to see a leadoff home run in an inning. Kind of gets the offense fired up, and you start to expect a big inning.
In there, and it's 0-1. Left-hand batter waits. This to third. Whips it across. One away. That ground ball may have him back on track after the homer. Enrique Hernandez, the next Cub to hit. First offering, and it just misses. There's a strike.
1-1.
The 1-1. And there's a foul ball. Right-hander kicks, deals. That's inside. Swings and misses. 2 away down. Bubba Thompson, the next Cub to hit.
The right fielder, Bubba Thompson.
Check swing, went around, and that is strike one. Right-handed reliever, and there's a ball.
That's the ball.
And the righty deals. Swing and a miss, and he got him to chase.
He has a tendency to chase out of the zone, and that slider that's down, that's one of his money pitches to get that swing and miss.
1-2 now. On the ground, right side. He'll do it himself. That ends the frame. Cubs get one on the solo shot. It's now 5-3. You're watching Major League Baseball exclusively on the show. Now on the bump, Ryan Weiss.
Well, he's the guy they hope to turn to out of the pen to lock down wins. So this game has gone to plan, more or less. Let's see if he can wrap it up here.
Chris Taylor steps to the plate for the Dodgers.
Taylor.
Hey, look, we'll see how it factors in. I just can't emphasize how much that insurance run in the top of the ninth means. I mean, just such a big difference mentally when you're chasing 2 runs instead of 1.
In for a strike. Strike one. Kicks and deals. Line and a base hit into right. Taylor races for second. The throw in. He's in with a double, and that's his second double of the night.
Well, that's how you respond. Leadoff man comes up, gets into scoring position. Now, there are several ways that they can get this run across.
Here's Max Muncy, that funky Muncy. There's a strike. Taylor at second with nobody out. Strike two. Swings and misses, struck him out.
Dominating strikeout there on just 3 pitches, and that's what a good power pitcher can do to you. If he's hitting his spots, filling up the strike zone, sometimes he bats over before it really begins.
So the batting order turns over. Now it's the shortstop, Miguel Rojas. In the air, right field, and just foul.
As a pitcher, you know the runner on second is ready to push things with his speed. A base hit's probably going to be a big run, so you really have to execute on the mound.
Kicks and fires.
Oh.
And there's a strike on the outside corner.
Hitter's got some good opposite field power. What I like about something being hit to the right side into the outfield is that the base runner at second has a very good read and can determine whether or not he can score on that base hit.
And that one is lifted in the air. Thompson snags it for the second out.
The batter, the center fielder, James.
So last chance for the Dodgers. David Peralta will hit next. Corner infielders guarding the lines, trying to prevent extra bases. Fouled off to the right. Two-run game with 2 away here in the bottom of the 9th. Next pitch inside, 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Really going after him here. All fastballs to get ahead in the count.
Swing and a miss, and that's the ball game.
Well, this was a tightly played game. Got a little of everything. Some timely hitting, runs on the board, key pitching and defense in certain spots. Definitely a fun one to watch.
A 5-3 final score in this one. The Cubs go home a winner. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi saying so long.
Here now is the final line score tonight. First for the victorious Chicago Cubs. 5 runs on 11 hits. No errors. They left 6 men on base. For the Dodgers, 3 runs on 9 hits. No errors. They left 11 men on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 1 minute.